Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Up with Jaimie. I'm so happy you are watching with me today. If you're catching this on replay, either on my blog or on Facebook or on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. This is my Wednesday night Facebook Live tutorial, and I'm just making sure I'm up and running, and it looks like I am. Yay! Let's see here. Okay, I was trying to see if I could share it, and I don't think I can. Okay, so hi Amy. I tried to share it, and I don't think I can. So it looks like I'll just be live here. Hello, everyone. Tonight's card is kind of like a rustic Christmas card. Hi, Linda. Good evening. And I really kind of was inspired by where I live. I live in upstate New York, and we're right below the Adirondack Mountains, where everything is Adirondack and kind of rustic and that sort of thing. And so I was really inspired by that today. Hi, ladies. Good evening. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just think these jingle bells are so cute. So I definitely wanted to incorporate them as well. And I'll walk you through kind of how I did that in my thought process. So this is the card. It's not too much texture. And it's kind of like minimal layering, but I just think it's really, really adorable. Now, here's what I want to tell you. This is how I created my moose. I used the Merry Moose bundle here. And it's just got this fun like outline of a moose, and then the fill, and then a cute like raccoon guy, some really fun punny sentiments, which I love. I'm all about that. Some kind of fun things that you can add to your moose, some presents and trees. Hi ladies, good evening. And it comes with a punch, which is really fun. So anytime that we can get a bundle that incorporates a punch, I'm all there. Hi Lori, good evening. So the punch is our moose, and there we go. He's a simple punch. But really makes for quick card making, project making, really fun, easy, great for someone that's been stamping a while, or if you're just kind of new to stamping, punches are great. So this is what I want to tell you though ahead of time, is I really did kind of play around with the moose a little bit, and I wasn't exactly sure which one I wanted to use. I ended up with just going with the full image of the moose. However, I did play around a little bit. So first, I just punched out a moose from Early Espresso cardstock, and I'm showing you these because if you think you like any of these more, I'd be happy to do that instead. So this is kind of like chime in, give me your thoughts, let me know, and we'll go from there. So you could have something like that instead. I thought it looked a little dark, but it's an option. Another option that I had was to stamp the outline in the Early Espresso ink and the inside in crumb cake. So that would look something like that. A little bit more detail. Obviously, mine doesn't show face or any of the features of the moose. And then the last option that I had was to stamp the outline in Early Espresso ink. And then the inside is the Early Espresso ink, but stamped off. So like a shade lighter. And that's what that would look like. So you let me know what you think you would like the card to look like. Or we can do what I did with just kind of the outline of the moose. Stamped in the Early Espresso ink. So a couple of options. It's kind of great because each one kind of gives a different feel to the card. This one is super kind of simple, easy to whip out fast for like lots of projects. And these guys down here have a little bit more detail to them. So get thinking about that so that when we come to the moose, you're all ready to go. You can chime in. I really struggled. I liked them all, honestly. But I ended up going with just the outline because I thought it was just, I don't know. I thought it was fun. That's why. So let's just dive in tonight. My color palette that we're working with, let me show you, is Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Soft Suede. Yes, the trees and Early Espresso as well. So that's kind of my color palette, more on the neutral side, very earthy and warm. Again, I'm really kind of pulling my inspiration from where I live, the Adirondacks, the mountains, that sort of thing. They're all nice, but I like the crumb cake mousse. Okay, I love the mousse. Oh, I do too, Tina. I do. He's so fun. He's just so fun. Well, chime in, and as we get there, I can do the crumb cake if no one else objects, or if you want a different one, I'm all ears. So we're starting off with the crumb cake cardstock. This is our standard 4 1/4 by 11. What's that word called? Scored. Scored at 5 1/2. Sometimes I just get so tongue tied. I'm like, I know there's the word, but I don't remember what it's called. Okay. And I just realized I didn't block up any of my trees. So the trees I stamped in the soft suede. I'm totally second guessing myself. I wonder, yeah, that is soft suede. I'm looking at it going, I'm not 100% sure. I did it yesterday. You'd think it'd be fresh in my mind. Crumb cake mousse is my pick. Okay, so we have 2 crumb. That's probably what we'll go with then. Let me see. Sorry, I got to get blocks here. I want to do the tree sideways. And sorry, I didn't block these ahead of time. Okay, so these 2 trees, I really like them. I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but they have a lot of detail to them. Like, I'm sorry, you're getting I don't know where that glare is coming from. There we go. Lots of detail in it. You can really just see the pine needles and everything. I really like them. They have a lot of detail to them. So open up your soft suede, and I stamp them to the right 1 time each. So the larger one first, and then the smaller one next to it. Oops, try that again. Now, quite honestly, you do see a little bit of the card here, so I suppose you could have another tree. Maybe I'll do that, another tree on the other side. The card that I do live is always a little different. Well, not always, but many times is a little different than the one that I do for my sample. Thank you, Megan, so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so now here's the fun part. Okay, we're going to make this buffalo check. It is everywhere right now. It is in all the craft stores, all the home decor stores. Everything is buffalo check. This is very much on point in style and what's hot and trendy right now. So bravo to Stampin' Up for that. So here's the thing. It's a background stamp, and usually I buy wood mount, and I did. I bought the wood mount. However, in hindsight, I would recommend, well, there's no wood mount anymore. How about that? So I would recommend using your Stamparatus with it. However, I have an old one. I have the wood mount, so that's what we're going with tonight. And I'm stamping on Cherry Cobbler cardstock. And what I'm going to do, you're going to see that my cardstock is like significantly larger than the piece of cardstock that I'm going to use, because I find it's really hard to stamp straight with the buffalo check. I ink it up, and if I have perfectly the right size of cardstock that I want and I go ahead and stamp, it's really hard to get those lines straight, and then they're crooked, and then you're thrown off. So what I do is I kind of like exaggerate my area that I stamp, and then I just trim it down with my trimmer, which, by the way, I just ordered the new trimmer. I'm so excited. If you haven't heard, Stampin' Up is coming out with a new trimmer. It was available to demonstrators as a pre-order right now, and at some point it'll go into your hands. We haven't been told exactly when, but sometime soon, which is super exciting. So I inked that in Memento black ink and push down, and hopefully this works. So this is where your Stamparatus comes into play, because if you don't get a good coverage, you could just keep inking it up and applying more and more ink, and you would be fine. That's a little splotchy. I might flip it over and try again. I re-inked my Memento right before I did this. I wonder if I shouldn't have done that. Maybe it's too inky. Too much. We'll try it again. Ink it up, the Memento ink, and try it again. If not, we'll go with the better of the two, whichever of the two comes out better. I finally got my uncounted buffalo check stamp put on my Stamparatus straight, and I will never remove it. Oh, that's hysterical. That must have taken a lot of like trials. Yeah, that's why I just gave up trying to stamp it straight and realized that I just stamp it and then I'll trim it down afterwards. Honest to goodness. And let's see here. It ended up being, it looks like mine's about 2.5 by 4 3/4 is what I ended up going with. That one's better. We're going with that one. So I'm just going to off screen cut it down. What did I say? See, I forgot already. 2.5 by 4 3/4. So I'm just going to line up the edge here with my trimmer, and that's going to give me well, I'll do it on screen. This is the old trimmer, but you'll get the idea of how I do this. So I line up like one of these lines with my trimmer, not against the bottom. I'm just kind of like eyeballing it with my thing. Actually, it looks like I stamped pretty straight. How funny is that? It looks like I stamped almost perfectly straight. Oh my goodness, that is really funny. That never happens. If I would have tried to do that, it wouldn't have happened. Did I say 2 1/4? See, I forget. Put the cherry cobbler on top of the stamp, then a large. I've tried that, Melissa. Oh, I've tried 2.5. I've tried just about everything, and I don't know. I find the best way to get it is, honestly, I think a Stamparatus would be ideal. But because I bought it when it was wood mount, I can't use it. So, I don't know. This is what works for me. It's kind of cheating, but it works. Okay, so there's my, what's that called? Buffalo check. I just got to cut my early espresso. I forgot to do that. So my early espresso will be 2 5/8 by 4 7/8. Hopefully I did that right. Yep, we're good. And that just gets matted, of course, because we have to have some sort of matting on the card somewhere. I can't believe I stamped that straight. It never happens. If I were to have tried that, it would not have worked for sure. It would have been so cockeyed. It would have been really, really bad. And then that just gets adhered kind of to the left of the card, a little offset. So kind of keeping in mind the 1/3, 2/3 concept. If you've ever taken an art class or photography class, they always talk about the concept of 1/3, 2/3. It's very appealing to the eye. So you kind of divide something and you want something to be in 2/3 of it and another thing to be in the rest of the 1/3. So kind of keep in mind when you're designing and crafting. I learned that eons ago. 1/3, 2/3. And what did we decide about our mousse? Are we going to go with the the crumb cake one? This one here? We can definitely do that. Let me just get everything. So, early espresso. So this would be like a double 2-step stamping. First the outline in the early espresso. Like so. Oh, he's so cute. He is so cute. I'm sorry. That mousse is absolutely adorable. And then the body would be the crumb cake. Like so. I just got to make sure. No kitty cat hairs. We got kitty cats. Okay. Ink them up and then try your best to line them up. And then commit. At some point you just have to just be like, it is what it is. And commit to it. Oh, good. Now keep in mind, as always, our ink pads will stamp darker, so he'll lighten up just a little bit. It's a little on the dark side. He'll end up being more like that. And then open up your punch. Line them up. There is a nice like white line that goes around the mousse, so it's kind of a forgiving. You don't have to get it like perfect, so to speak, although try your best. Ta-da! Oh, he's so cute. So cute. Look at that. Love him. And I'm going to take my cardstock again, and this time I'm going to stamp the scarf in the cherry cobbler. There's a scarf, and there is what else? There's a little hat, and there's a little ornament. I thought about putting the ornament, but I went with the jingle bells instead, kind of at the top. But there is an ornament, a scarf, and like this little hat. And there's a star. You could put the star on the tree if you wanted. Now, unfortunately, if you're not a fussy cutter, you may want to omit the scarf. But I don't mind. Again, you know, when you're fussy cutting, take your time. I'm kind of zipping through, but take your time and leave a little like white line around it, just like the punch does. The punch leaves like a little white space. It's kind of forgiving, so if you accidentally go too far in, you're not like chopping off something important. Hello, Heather. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. And almost done. I normally would have done this off screen, but it's just a little scarf. It's quick. Okay. Now let's start to build. I need to put the little scarf on the moose. And he fits like perfectly, which of course. This is all, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, this is all the product from the 2019 holiday catalog. If for some reason you have yet to receive one, please let me know. I'd be happy to pop one in the mail for you. You don't want to miss out. It's a super fun one. Our sentiment is being stamped in the cherry cobbler. And if you know me at all, I am such a sucker for punny sentiments. So, of course, I had to use the Merry Christmas. I just think that is so fun. I'm a sucker for, like, punny anything. Anything with a good pun. And, again, that's going in the cherry cobbler. Merry Christmas. See, I can't even say it without laughing. It's just so cute. So, so cute. And we're going to assemble up a little here. Oh, I forgot to grab dimensionals. First, the sentiment. I kind of have it hanging off a little bit. I don't know, because I wanted to. I don't know what my theory behind that was. And the moose goes on with dimensionals. I've used 2 just to give them a little bit of a lift. And then we're going to do the jingle bells, which are so fun. So, so fun. I do like the crumb cake moose. Good call, guys. Good call. So fun. Okay, so here's my thing. Let's just walk through how my brain works when I craft and when I create. Anytime that I use a ribbon, I don't necessarily like it or I don't do it when the ribbon is just kind of floating and there's nothing grounding it. So this to me, it just doesn't, it looks off to me. However, my initial theory was to put a little bit of burlap and then have that over it. And my 13-year-old daughter was with me when I was crafting, and I said, honey, what do you think? And she goes, no, Mom, you got to lose the burlap. So we ended up with just a floating ribbon, which is so not usually how I do things. I look at that, I'm like, it's not grounded. So I don't know. You let me know what you think. And I'm trying to find, oh my goodness gracious. Hold on. I had my linen thread right here. Now I can't find it. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, oh my goodness. Oh my word. Okay, so we may have to omit that altogether. I can't find my linen thread. I literally just have it here. So anyways, talk amongst yourselves for a moment where I look everywhere. Oh my goodness, I literally just had it here. So we may have to put the burlap and not do the bells. I have no idea where. Oh, there it is. I found it. Ah, it was on my scoring board. Why it was there, I don't know. You like the burlap? So do I, Amy. So did I. Okay, so let me put this together and we'll kind of see how you like it in the end. I have a gremlin in my craft room that has my supplies. It was literally just here. And then I actually had it on my scoring board here, and then I moved my scoring board. So that's why that happened. And hold on, I'm doing surgery on my alt lamp as I speak. Okay, hopefully that holds up. So you're going to take a piece of your linen thread. I can't believe I couldn't find it. That's really funny. Oh, only on live videos do you lose stuff that you need as part of the design. And let me show you these jingle bells. They're super, super cute. They come in 3 colors. A green, I believe that's garden green. I could be wrong. And cherry cobbler, and then the gold. And I tried throwing the green and the gold on, and I didn't like it. So we're just going to keep with the cherry cobbler. And I took the end and just tied a knot. So fun. I just love it. Whoever gets this card, you know, like when you go to get the mail in the mailbox, they're going to be like, it's jingling. Especially with 2 jingle bells, you can really hear it. And there's my knot. And then I think mine's a little on the long side. Let's see here. I'm going to tie my bow. This took a few times for me to do to kind of get the lengths right, because I didn't want the tails too long. So actually, we'll see if I can get this on the first try. But when I did it, like in the prep card, it took, I think I did it twice before I kind of got the length that I wanted. Hi, Diane. Good evening. So let's see. That's a little long. Let's try it a little shorter. Nothing like tying a ribbon. Hi, Terry. Hello, hello. You just missed it. I completely couldn't find something vital in, I couldn't find the linen thread here, but I found it. So tie a bow. Okay, that's better. I don't want them too long. Although I usually like long tails, but in this case, I don't really want it too long. And then take your other jingle bell, put it through the tail. And I wanted one a little bit longer than the other, kind of, again, for aesthetic reasons. How would you mail it with a padded envelope? Let me see. How high off is it? What I would do probably is take a piece of copy paper, cut it to the size of your card front, and just put it over it. It should be able to be mailed like that just fine. It'll just kind of keep a layer between that and the envelope. Some people, their mailmen are sticklers about having mail too thick, but for some reason, I've never had a problem with it. You know, saying that I have to put 2 stamps on it or something. I honestly, for everything, I put 1 stamp, and I've never had anything sent back to me saying it needs more than 1 stamp. But to help it not kind of poke through, just cut a piece of copy paper or scrap paper or whatever you have lying around and just cover the card front. That's what I would do. Okay, so here's our bells and our bow, like that. And so should we do the burlap or no burlap? Burlap, I really like the burlap, but she didn't. You definitely don't see it as much, as clear, if you have the burlap. It is definitely a little bit like more hidden, but I think I like it. What's everyone saying? Instead of copy paper, I use cardstock that is run through the corrugated embossing folder. Yeah, that works. Just some sort of layer, whatever it is, just some sort of layer. Diane says burlap. Okay, burlap we're going with. Just some sort of layer so that there's something between the card and the envelope. Anytime I'm using burlap, I always use my tear and tape. Ooh, I went totally blank there for a second. Tear and tape. You could try using just your snail, but I find it just doesn't hold it the way it really needs to. It can kind of just pull off easily. So if you're using burlap and you happen to have like liquid glue or tear and tape, something a little bit stronger than just your regular snail, I would go with that. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a haircut though. This is about 1 3/4 inches at the longest. Okay. Oh, you like both? Oh. You've never had a problem either? Yeah, some people do. Some people, they find like they get them mailed back because it's too thick. I guess if your card is thicker than a certain amount, like the standard, then they want you to put 2 stamps on it. But I don't know. I've never had it mailed back to me. Watch whatever card I send next be the one that gets mailed back. Okay, so all I did is put a little bit of liquid glue there. You could also use like a dot. What are those things called? A glue dot. Oh my goodness, I'm going totally blank tonight. You could use a glue dot, but I don't know. I find that liquid glue really does the trick. And my trick before, I hold my blocks have something on it, is while something's drying, I usually just put a block over it just to make sure that it has good contact and it doesn't come off. So that's our card tonight. Yay! Thank you so much for all your patience. This was a lot of fun. If you've been watching and haven't yet left a comment of some sort and you would like the opportunity to possibly win this card, just shoot some sort of comment or an emoji or something of the sort. And at the end, I'll throw all your names into a hat and I'll pick one for someone to receive tonight's card. This one here is the one that you will be getting. So thank you all so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. If you have yet to join our World Card Making Facebook group, please do so. On Saturday, we're all going to be going live all throughout the day for about 12 hours off and on, doing different presentations and demonstrations for you. You can find that link on my Facebook page if you would like to join that group. And I certainly hope we'll see you on Saturday. I myself will be going live at 10:30 in the morning, and I'd love the love and support. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will be back next week, same time, same place, and I hope to see you then. Have a good night. Bye-bye.